I'm Kent Blue Milk Latte Salas, and with me, as always, is
Christophsis Meade.
Hey guys, it's been a minute, and we're technically still processing here, I think, and
Yeah.
it's taken a while to make this video, but we wanted to just do a quick video to celebrate the life of James Earl Jones, and him joining the force, as it were. He lived a incredible life. He was born in Mississippi in 1931. Yep. And then from there, he, I think, really wanted to do something eventually in show business, but before he got there, he actually served in the Korean War. Wow. He was doing like a whole pre-med thing for a little bit, I think, and he served as an officer during the Korean War. And then after that, shortly after, he started doing some theater. I believe a lot of Shakespeare in the Park sort of things. He got his first film appearance in Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove.
Great movie.
Yeah, great movie. Great. I mean, if you're going to have any debut film appearance, I guess that's the one to have.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And then eventually, as we all know, we came to know him as the voice of Darth Vader. But I think for a lot of us, he was just much more than just a voice. He himself has gone on record as saying he was just a special effect. But through his performance and all of that, I think, there really isn't. Darth Vader, I think, even outside of the Star Wars realm, if you ask people, like, one of the best villains in cinema history, Darth Vader is going to be at least in the top 3, if not number 1, on a lot of different lists.
Yeah, and so much of Vader is the voice, because he gives him a face, and it's just that mask.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no emotion, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So really, all of Vader's like personality and agency is all in the voice.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And also, I think it's funny, another thing that James Earl Jones would bring up himself was that he was a stutterer earlier in his life, during like his youth, his teen years and all of that. And, are you kidding me? He eventually becomes, the voice of Darth Vader. What other, like, film or entertainment stuff do you always kind of go back to with James Earl Jones? Like some of his other appearances and other stuff.
A couple of the big ones. One of the big ones is playing the villain in Conan, the first Conan movie.
Yeah, where he morphs into the snake.
Yeah,
that was terrifying as a kid.
Yeah, and he's the one making Conan run laps with the stone wheel and all that.
Yeah, that's a great one. Two things that I kind of go with are his. It's not a film in this appearance, but his narration of the King James Bible. Is up there. I mean, like, if you're going to listen to the Bible, and then he himself was a devout Roman Catholic. If you're going to listen to the Bible by anybody, I think James Earl Jones is, like, at the top of that.
And then, like, Morgan Freeman's number 2.
Yeah. And then also, for me, I think I kind of go back to, like, The Sandlot. He plays, like, the grouchy next-door neighbor, but you kind of come to find out he's, like, a big softie in that movie as well. So, and then one other, like, it's a very small appearance, was there's an episode of Big Bang Theory. Have you seen that one? Yeah. Him and Sheldon kind of, like, befriend each other, and they kind of go out and do pranks and stuff like that.
I have one thing to say to people like you. I like Star Wars too.
And it's kind of it's a really nice circular moment in a way, because Carrie Fisher is in that episode where they're playing, like, Ding Dong Ditch on her.
Did she come out with a baseball bat or something like that?
Yeah. She goes, "It's not funny anymore, James," which is funny because I think in the behind the scenes of the filming of that was actually their first time was meeting on the Big Bang Theory set. I don't think they had ever really
that makes sense.
met each other before then, which is wild to think. I mean, there's a lot of instances like that, like your Mark Hamill's meeting, like, random people, like, "Oh, hey, that's my cinema dad," sort of thing. Yeah, but yeah, so those are kind of, like, outside of Star Wars, some of our, I think, favorite appearances.
Well, going back to baseball, there was Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams is obviously an iconic one as well.
It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
And there's many, many more countless appearances that he was really, really good in. That's just, I think, for us, like, our specific ones that kind of ring home. Voiced Darth Vader in A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. He does do a little bit of spot guest work in Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
And then
Rogue One.
Rogue One is also in there. And I didn't actually know this. I always thought it was kind of, and upon doing research just upon his life, I should have known this, years ago, but he was the one actually in the sound booth for Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have not watched Rebels and you need yet another reason to watch Rebels, second season specifically is where we get the most of our Vader stuff.
Right.
But he knocks it out of the park in that series as well.
Rebels actually did a good job of pulling in a lot of original voice cast.
Yeah.
To do to go in there, because I want to say Billy D does Lando in there as well.
I think you're right. Yeah. And it also is very interesting that we live in a world in which Dave Filoni directed James Earl Jones. It doesn't seem like
Right.
that should necessarily be like a link up, but it did happen, at one point, if not a few times. And then also upon doing a little bit of research for this video, I found out did lend his voice to Lucasfilm specifically for AI regeneration to be reused on future projects. Which we talked about this on a audio podcast before, but we kind of came to the deduction that if the performer is cool with it,
right,
and signing that over, then we're cool with it pretty much.
Right. I mean,
As
long as the studios made a good deal.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
As long as they're fairly compensated, and it's kind of in perpetuity, they're going to continue to compensate anytime they use it. Situation.
Yeah. Because I know, especially in the year 2024, when we're recording this, AI is a very hot button issue in many, many different fields.
Right.
But that is one where it is happening, and had already been used on the Kenobi TV show, as we found out. It's kind of a mixture of James Earl Jones lending. He pre-records a little bit of stuff here, and then there's a AI application that kind of repurposes all of it for that. And then, I did miss one other little film appearance. Rise of Skywalker, believe it or not. James Earl Jones did do that very quick part where he goes, every voice inside your head.
Right.
Every voice you have ever heard inside your head.
Okay.
Sort of thing. Yeah. That was him. He was there.
Okay.
That wasn't a regeneration thing. I think that might have been his last in the sound booth appearance as Darth Vader. So if you need another reason to go watch Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, there's that one. This is a quote by George Lucas shortly after James Earl Jones' passing. James was an incredible actor, a most unique voice in art and spirit. For nearly half a century, he was Darth Vader, but the secret to it all is he was a beautiful human being. He gave depth, sincerity, and meaning to all of his roles, amongst the most important being a devoted husband to the late Cece and dad to Flynn. James will be missed by so many of us, friends and fans alike. I think George pretty much summed it up really well with that. I mean, there are those in his actual life that I'm obviously very much so miss him, but there's a whole community, a legion of fans that will miss him as well. Right. And very briefly, let us know what some of your favorite lines that he delivered as Darth Vader. We're going to not include "I am your father," because that, I think, would just be at the top of a lot of our lists. It is, in my humble opinion, it is the most important line in cinema history. And I don't say that as hyperbole. I really, truly believe that.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
Not true.
But outside of that, "I am your father" line, what are some of our other favorites?
The only ones that really are jumping to my mind are kind of silly ones.
Yeah.
Because it's trying to lighten the mood here. So I'm going to give you two.
Yeah.
One is his line from Rogue One, where he tells Krennic, "Be careful not to choke on your aspirations," as he's force choking him.
That's a great one.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director.
That's a good one. And then one of my ones that just makes you laugh every time because delivery is just kind of silly. It's even sillier than Revenge of the Sith is in the trench run when Han Solo's coming from behind him and surprises him. He's like, "What?
What?
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 Yeah, that's a
I love it. It's just a kind of funny delivery.
Yeah. Mine, as a huge prequel fan, and I know a lot of people push back on it and they just think it's silly, but I just love when he cries out after he becomes the man in the suit and he lets out that no.
Well, and again, it's one of those things where, like we talked about earlier, it's just because he has no face, so he can't really emote. So it just sounds like someone just screaming no. When, like, if there had actually been like real like face acting, it might have hit a little differently.
And then, oh my gosh, real quick, sorry, other appearance that I missed, other film appearance I missed was the voice of Mufasa.
Yeah.
I'm not who I used to be.
Remember who you are. You are my son, and the one true king.
Are you kidding me? How did I leave that one out? That one, I think, might have been like the very first Disney film I ever watched, like, in theaters. And yeah, that movie, Mufasa does not have nearly as much levity or weight with him without the voice of James Earl
Yeah,
Jones.
no, 100%.
Yeah. If you can today, just take some time out of your day just to remember James Earl Jones and what a great human being he was. And watch some Darth Vader stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. May the Force be with you.